Breaking news in baseball and surprising news. The Blue Jays firing manager Charlie Montoyo, according to multiple reports. Now, the Jays were the favorites in the American League East and right now sit in fourth, though they are still in playoff position with a record 4 games above 500. But high expectations this season after winning over 90 games a year ago. In 3+ seasons at the helm, Montoyo had a .236 and .236 record. Going into the season, they were plus 170 to win the division. The Yankees have lapped the field. They are running away with the division right now. But the Blue Jays, the Rays, and the Red Sox hold the 3 wild card spots. And the Orioles are nearing a double-digit game winning streak. Let's get a couple of our baseball guys in here. Will Middlebrooks joins us on the phone. Matt Snyder is with us on camera. Matt, you can go first here. How surprising is this news that the Blue Jays would make this move midway through the season?
Maybe somewhat, just because he recently got an extension and they were pretty much right where you thought they might be, other than because the Yankees have been so good. They were way far back in the AL East. But otherwise, right in the mix for the top wild card for a little bit. Last couple weeks, though, they've been terrible. An absolute tailspin, and at some point, I think sometimes teams think maybe we need a little sacrificial firing here, even if it's not necessarily his fault. We saw it work kind of with the Phillies when they fired Joe Girardi, and they got really hot. They won 9 in a row after that. Maybe the Blue Jays get a little hot going into the break, and then they can build momentum coming out of the All-Star break. So I think that's what they're going for here. So I guess that's a long answer to say kind of surprised, but not really.
Will, what do you think?
I think it's a little bit of an overreaction just because they're feeling the heat right now. They haven't played well over the last couple weeks, and you see this with teams that have super high expectations. When players underperform, it has to fall on someone, and it doesn't ever fall on the star players during the middle of the season. So it falls on the manager, as we saw in Philly. It worked. We saw in Anaheim. It didn't work. They've actually been worse, way worse since Joe Madden was fired. But I think they're just feeling the pressure right now. They're in the 3rd wild card spot. They're still 4 games over 500. But who expected the Orioles to go on a streak like this? Who expected Cleveland to overperform like they have? Seattle, obviously, they have a chance to win 10 in a row today. So they're surging as well. So they're feeling the pressure, and they don't want this to get out of hand. So they think making this change right now can maybe spark something in that clubhouse.
Will, what kind of an impact could this have on the star players on this team?
I don't think it's going to have that big of a difference unless there was some kind of disconnect with inside that clubhouse that we just don't know about. Knowing Charlie and how he is with his players and the relationships that he's built across the league, I don't think there's disconnect. I just don't. I think this is coming from above and them trying to just spark the players. There's sometimes the front office thinks they understand how the players think. I don't think this is a case where Vladdy Jr. or George Springer or Kevin Gausman are going to look around and go, wow, now we go. Now we're going to play better. Like they go out there and they give it everything they have every night. This is more, I think, of a visual thing to the fans, saying like we're not going to take poor play. We have to make a change now. We're going for this. We were the World Series favorites. We have to make a change.
Matt, we saw the numbers. The batting average good. The team ERA not so good. When you look into what has gone wrong for this Blue Jays team that was picked to win the division, and some were picking them to win the World Series, as Will said, what have been the reasons that they've underperformed, and you as well?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think firing him is going to automatically make the rotation deeper and make somebody like Jose Barrios pitch better. Hyun-Jin Ryu is lost for the season with an injury. Yusei Kikuchi has not lived up to the signing, even though he was supposed to be like the number 5 starter. He's been way worse than that. He's not been serviceable at all at the back end of that rotation. So the problem has mostly been the rotation, somewhat the bullpen. The offense, maybe timely hitting has been a problem, but over the course of 162, that usually corrects itself. And like you said, the team batting average is right there. The on-base and slugging are also right there. So hitting-wise, they're probably going to be fine, but they were already fine. It's all about the pitching. And again, I don't know if firing the manager is going to make guys magically pitch better. You would expect Barrios, based on his track record, to be better moving forward, but man, he hasn't shown signs of it at all. Maybe they get him some help going into the trade deadline. But again, that doesn't have anything to do with the manager. I think kind of as Will alluded to, it's kind of eyewash. It's really like they're in a tailspin right now. They look terrible. They had this good team. They had sky-high expectations. So they need to do something. It looks like you're doing something, and that's basically what I think the move is.
They've lost 9 of 11 games. They hold the last wild card spot, but it's a precarious position right now. We're talking with Matt Snyder. We also have Will Middlebrooks on the phone with us. Will, what do they need to do here this second half of the season to get in position to make a run come October?
Well, as Matt alluded to, they need a little more depth in their rotation. So if that means go out and get another arm, there's arms out there. There's Montas, so we're seeing how he looks coming on this next start. Castillo's obviously an option, but there's tons of teams with prospects going after these big arms at the deadline. Their bullpen's third worst in the American League, so they have some good arms out there. They've underperformed. Their offense is very good. They're lethal at times, but they have guys who are also underperforming. Alek Manoah, who's been arguably one of the best pitchers in the American League, has been good. Kevin Gausman's been good, but they just have no depth. Losing Ryuk to Tommy John really hurts them. And then obviously, as Matt said, I'm echoing what he said, but Kikuchi and Barrios have severely overperformed with ERAs in the 5s. So I say they have to go. By getting rid of your manager at this point in the season, that shows, hey, we're still going for this. We really believe in this team. I would expect them to be very active at the deadline.
All right, Will Middlebrooks and Matt Snyder with us here on CBS Sports HQ as the Blue Jays have reportedly fired Charlie Montoyo in his 4th season at the helm of Toronto's club. They sit right now in the 4th position in the division, but hold the last wild card spot. Thanks, guys.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.